Hello, I'm Joe. Welcome to our channel, Joe's Allotments towards Self-Sufficiency. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so for tips and advice on how to grow homegrown and use homegrown vegetables, fruit and herbs. Welcome back to Joe's Allotment channel on this, looks like a lovely sunny day, but we had a snow flurry this morning. And it's the temperatures for the next 3 to 4 days look like it's going to be minuses. So what I'm doing at the moment, leaving them in the conservatory, all the seedlings, but it's not got no heating. So what I do is I have to bring the plants into the house every night and bring them back into the conservatory when the temperature rises. Bit of a pain, but it's the only way to make sure they survive this cold snap. So what I'm going to do today is give you an update on the seedlings that I've already got going, just to let you know where we are. So these are the next batch of lettuces, Lolo, Rossos and Little Gems. Planted these on the 25th of March and they need transplanting now, so I'll be pricking those out this afternoon. And we've got some petunias, tiny little things. I'm going to prick those out this afternoon as well because we can get them into a hanging basket at some stage. The golden purslane needs pricking out as well. That was sown on the 25th of March as well. So that's about a week's growth. Lovely colour. So I'll be pricking out some of those this afternoon and get them into pots. Potatoes are still here. This is the next batch that will be going into the allotment. I've already planted out my first earlies, which was the rockets. These are Nicola salads. As you can see, they're doing pretty well. They're chitting really well, growth on them is really good. So another couple of weeks and I'll be planting these into the plot. So I'll be doing a plot tour later, next few days, so you can see how we are doing down there as well. But hopefully the first earlies haven't come out of the ground because we've got a frost predicted for the next 3 to 4 days, sharp frost. So if they're still in the ground, they're safe. If they're not, if they have started popping out the ground, I'll have to cover them for the next few days. Just give them a bit of protection. And then I've got the two main crops, which is the Maris King Edward and Maris Pipers. So these won't go into the ground until sort of end of April now, really. So they've got a bit longer. So they follow on from the first and second earlies. Peppers. Got 3 types of peppers on the go. We've got the Romano, which is a bell pepper. We've got the California Wonder, which is a bell pepper. Sorry, this is the bell pepper. These are long peppers. The California Wonder is a bell pepper. The Romano is a long pepper, the long type of pepper. And then we've got little chilies as well, hot chili ones. These have only been planted for about 3 weeks, sown about 3 weeks ago. They're coming on really well. They just started to get their second leaves now, so they're doing really well. But the other two are doing really well. So they won't go into the ground, into the greenhouse, until sort of middle of May now, and they won't go outside. I'm going to plant them on the plot itself, sort of end of May, beginning of June, before I can get them outside. But once the weather improves, I can put them into the greenhouse and leave them there. So at least they'll be out of the way, basically. Tomatoes, doing well. We've got these ones are for the greenhouses. So we've got 2 greenhouses, so we'll plant some to greenhouses. So these are the money makers, which I planted on which I sowed on the 2nd of March. So they're doing quite well now, really. And we've got little cherry ones. These were sown at the same time. They're coming on really well. I've now planted the outdoor batch, so they're in the propagator at the moment. I've actually taken a few out this morning, and hopefully in the next few days we'll be taking those out of the propagator and getting them going. So these are for the greenhouses, and the ones that I've got in the propagator at the moment will be for outside. These are the basils. Got 2 types of basil here, sweet basil and a cinnamon basil. they're doing quite well. You can see they're just starting to get their second little leaves coming through now. And these are the early long purple aubergines. So they're starting to develop quite well, starting to get their second leaves. But they won't go out into the greenhouse either till sort of May, or outside from sort of mid-May. So we've got plenty of time to keep these in and out of the cold at the moment as well. So hopefully they'll be able to go into the greenhouse once the weather starts improving. So all the herbs are coming to life now as well at this time of the year. We like to have some herbs near our back door so we can use them when we need them. Mint is doing really well. I like to have a nice mint tea occasionally. Peppermint, nice peppermint tea. We've got a black variety as well of mint in there, and some marjoram and some sage. We've got a nice oregano plant. Cut off a few leaves and chuck them into the bolognese, is lovely. And some red sorrel, which is lovely in salads. Just pick a leaf off every now and again when we want to and use it. So spring is in the air really. This is lemon balm. So the temperature in the conservatory where we just looked at the seedlings was about 18-19 degrees Celsius, and in here it's about 16, so it's probably 2 to 3 degrees higher in the conservatory. So what I did last night, because I knew the frost was coming, I covered everything over with newspaper just to give it a little bit of protection. I'll probably do that again for the next 2 to 3 nights as well while we've got the frost. I've put the lettuce into the greenhouse, so they'll be ready hopefully before we need to use the greenhouse. So we've got some little gems growing there, some low rossos and some winter density. So we've got what, 5, 10, 13 lettuces there, so that should keep us going for a while until the next batch comes through. The spring onions and the imposter and the purple spring onions, they'll be going out onto the plot in the next couple of weeks, so they're ready. I planted those around the first week of February, so they've done really well. And when I plant the onions out, I'll trim them down a bit before I plant them out, but the spring onions can go in lumps, so we get a nice bunch of spring onions all in one go. Carrots, the early nods too. Sowed those on the 25th of February, so was that about a month ago now. So they're developing quite well. What I'll do is I'll pull out some of them once they get to a decent size and use them for salads, and let some of them develop into larger ones. So we've still got sort of perpetual spinach in here, which is have to come out in the next few weeks, and the rocket's now going to flower. But the flowers are quite nice as well. They're edible. Use those in salads. Not bad. The French breakfast radishes, which was the first batch of the year, they're nearly ready now. A few of them can probably be pulled up shortly. Doing quite well. The leeks are all germinated really well as well. We've got 2 types of leeks in there, an elephant and a musselburgh. So they won't be going out into the plot for quite a while yet. Probably not till the end of April. So they'll grow quite well before then. Bought some more onion sets because we're going to put some in our family's gardens as well. So got those in compost just to give them a bit of a start with the roots. That's another batch from Wilkinson's for £2, not bad. So there's quite a lot of onion sets in there, and we've got some carnations. Got 1 flower. They can go into the garden at some stage, onto a pot. Sunflowers are doing good. These are the giant sunflowers which we planted about 2 weeks ago, so they're developing quite well. They won't go out into the plot for quite a while yet, so we might have to repot those at some stage. Cauliflowers are looking quite healthy, so I think they'll be going out into the plot about mid-April. They're nearly ready, and these are just a bunch of flowers here. So we've got cornflowers, Californian poppies, wallflowers and sweet peas. We like to make our own sort of hanging baskets up, so a lot of this will go into the hanging baskets. And we've got some marigolds as well here. So these were planted on the 6th of March. Not doing too badly. I've repotted up the Brussels and the mammoth red cabbages. So I've repotted some of them, and they've produced new leaves since I've repotted them about a week ago, so they're doing really well. What I do is I'll water from the bottom. So I keep them in containers, and just every time it dries out completely, after a few days I'll add some water at the bottom and let it soak up from the bottom. So these are spares. You never know what to do with spares. That's the problem. You grow so many seeds. You can only use, I mean, I'll see if anyone down the allotments wants any. I just hate throwing them away after I've germinated and grown them, really. It's always a dilemma. You always end up with too many. These are the rockets. They've come on really well, and that's about a week's growth there. So what I'll do is I think I'll just plant the whole module into the ground in one lump. Same with the radishes. They can go out into the plot soon, next week or so. As with the chard and spinach. We've already planted one lot of spinach down the allotment, perpetual spinach. This will be the second lot. And we've got some real spinach here as well. Not the beet spinach, the real spinach. So we've got a giant winter and a matador. So these were sown on the 8th of March, so they're doing really well. And they can go out into the plot in the next few weeks. Endive, planted on the 8th of March. These are doing really well. So a few more weeks before they can go out, so I might have to repot a few of them. And the beetroot, I've got the Egyptian flat rooted variety and the bolt hardy. So what I do is I'll plant those in the module, from the module straight into the ground in batches. Give them a bit of space between them, and they should develop into a nice little crop. What else we got in here? So I'm going to try and clear out this greenhouse in the next week or so. You can still use some of the leaves on the rocket, but it's going to seed now. And the spinach we'll use up as well. We've got some spinach, perpetual spinach. We like to make a what we call a spinach bake, which is, it's got loads of spinach in it, so we'll probably use up a lot of this spinach and chard. These ones are chard and they're spinaches, perpetual spinaches, so we'll try and use those up in the next couple of weeks. So that's where we are with seedlings at the moment. I'll be sowing some more seeds in the next week or so. Sowing some more seeds in the next week or so. Hopefully you've enjoyed the little tour of the seedlings. If you have, please consider subscribing or commenting or giving us a like. If you've enjoyed it, please subscribe, and you can see the progress of these seedlings over the coming weeks once they start going out onto the allotment, and hopefully getting a good harvest from them, which is the objective of the game. Grow your own, eat your own. Thanks very much for watching.